The Irish setter threw himself against the bathroom door at 6:43 a.m. Not scratched, not pawed, threw 65 pounds of Auburn momentum, launched from a standing start in the hallway, shoulder first into the hollow core door that separated him from the sound he was tracking. The sound was running water, specifically the bathtub faucet, which Nina Gallagher had turned on 4 minutes earlier to draw a bath for 22-month-old Milo while she stepped across the hall to grab a towel from the linen closet. 4 minutes. That's how long it takes a standard bathtub to fill from empty to approximately 8 inches of water. The depth at which a toddler who slips beneath the surface cannot right himself without assistance. Nina heard the impact from the linen closet. She dropped the towel and ran. The bathroom door was open. Copper had knocked it wide with the force of his entry. Inside, Milo was standing in the tub, water at his knees, one hand gripping the faucet handle, the other reaching for a rubber duck floating near the drain end. He was fine, upright, stable, playing. Nina grabbed him, turned off the water, and sat on the bathroom floor with her heart rate elevated and her Irish setter standing in the doorway, panting, tail low, watching her with the particular expression of a dog who has solved a problem and would like acknowledgement. If you stay for stories about the ones who break through doors, subscribe to Saved by a Tale. She almost dismissed it. A dog reacting to the sound of water. Irish setters are field dogs, bred near bogs and marshes. Water sounds could trigger prey drive, excitement, curiosity. Nothing unusual, but Copper had never reacted to the bathtub before. In 3 years, he had heard hundreds of baths drawn for Milo, for Nina, for her husband Jake. He had never once approached the bathroom during a bath. He had certainly never thrown himself against a door. Nina reviewed the timeline. She had turned on the faucet. She had left the bathroom door open to get a towel. Milo was in the tub, standing water barely covering his ankles. She was gone for 4 minutes. In those 4 minutes, the water rose from ankle depth to knee depth. Copper had been lying in the hallway. He had watched Nina leave the bathroom. He had watched her enter the linen closet, and at some point during those 4 minutes, the camera in the hallway confirmed it at the 3:12 mark, he had stood up, walked to the bathroom door, paused, and listened. At 3:47, the bathroom door began to swing closed. Not completely. The hinge was slightly out of alignment, and the door drifted to a 40-degree angle in the normal air circulation pattern. But 40 degrees was enough to partially block the doorway. Copper's reaction was immediate. The door began closing. The water was running. The toddler was inside. The adult was not. He hit the door at 3:52, 5 seconds after it began closing. The child development specialist Jake consulted the following week explained that bathtub drownings are the second leading cause of accidental death in children under 4. The majority occur during momentary lapses in supervision, a phone call, a trip to grab a towel, a sibling's cry from another room. Average time from submersion to loss of consciousness in a toddler, 60 to 90 seconds. The door closing was the trigger, Nina told Jake. He wasn't reacting to the water. He was reacting to the barrier forming between Milo and the nearest adult. Has your dog ever broken through something? A gate? A door? A barrier? When you thought it was unnecessary? Tell us. Some destructions are rescues in disguise. Jake called the veterinary behaviorist. The explanation was consistent with what Nina had observed. Irish setters are a breed with high environmental monitoring capacity, the behaviorist said. They track the locations of every family member continuously. When Copper registered that Nina was in the linen closet, Milo was in the bathtub, and a barrier was forming between the caregiver and the vulnerable member, his behavioral threshold was crossed. The door wasn't a door to him. It was a separation event. Jake installed a doorstop that evening, a simple rubber wedge that prevented the bathroom door from drifting closed. He also installed a non-slip mat in the tub, a faucet cover to prevent Milo from adjusting the temperature, and a secondary towel rack inside the bathroom so Nina would never need to leave the room during bath time. Every preventive measure was something Copper had already communicated with his shoulder. Every tail that wags after impact deserves to know it mattered. Subscribe to Saved by a Tale. Copper's shoulder was sore for 2 days. Nina checked for bruising. The hollow core door had left a faint mark on his left deltoid, visible beneath the auburn coat. When she parted the fur, she applied a warm compress. He tolerated it with the patience of a dog who understood that damage to the shoulder was acceptable if the bathroom door was open. Jake asked Nina if she thought Milo had been in danger. Nina thought about it carefully. He was standing, he was stable, he was playing. So Copper overreacted? No, Copper reacted to what was about to happen, not what was happening. A door was closing between a toddler and rising water and the only adult in the house. Whether Milo fell in the next 30 seconds or the next 5 minutes, the separation was the danger. Not the water level, the separation. Jake looked at the rubber door wedge on the bathroom floor. $3 at the hardware store. The most important piece of safety equipment in the house. Second most important, technically. The first was sleeping in the hallway, one ear toward the bathroom, one ear toward the linen closet, monitoring the distance between the two people whose proximity was his jurisdiction. 65 pounds of Auburn jurisdiction. Still on duty.